Hello everyone, this is our group presentation. We picked the SABRI for the group case study. The team members who completed the case study are Xinling Li, Dantong Hu, Zixiang Gong, and me, Zheng Meng. Now I'm going to give a brief introduction to the SABRI. The full name is St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation. SABRI is an organization which administers a 3,000 metric ton allocation of northern shrimp on behalf of the communities from Big Brook to Goose Cove. The organization was founded in 1997. It aims to create employment opportunities and expand the region's economy. The incorporation is committed to the harmonious coexistence of human and nature. We choose the SABRI for analysis because its operation model and concept fit many CD principles. It promotes the development of the community and provides jobs for residents. It was established to manage the special allocation of northern shrimps. The managed board is made up of 15 volunteers with 5 fishers, 4 fish plant employees, 4 community representatives and 2 representatives. At the same time, it accelerates the speed of regional economic flow. Now other team members will talk about SABRI for more details and analyze with EME's Hudson framework and Nietzsche principles.
Hello everyone, today I'm going to talk about how the SABRI represents the niche principles through a series of activities. The first one is the product kept by the local fishermen. They sell this product to local factory. And because of the devastating collapse of the cod fishery in this area, SABRI's first activity was to cooperate with a factory. This factory established an advanced shrimp and crab factory in here. So the fishermen sell their products to them, thereby increasing local sales opportunities. So it is no longer sold to other places. So these activities reduce the dependence on foreigner products. So because of the formation of this industry, it also provides more of job opportunities for local residents. So the second one is the trucking transportation. So trucking is the same as selling to a factory. This activity is also to promote the local service and create employment opportunities. The third one is nutrition food. And in addition, data shows that Newfoundland has the highest obesity rate. So SABRI has collaborated with the member university to study the potential use of obesities and sea cucumbers in nutrition foods. Through this research hopes to figure out the health problems of the residents. The fourth is providing a scholarship. SABRI provides a scholarship to students living in this region and helps them to attend the colleges and the universities. This initiative has improved the local education level, and at the same time, it has improved the potential workforce in the future because they want these students come back this level. And five is the infrastructure. SABRI has built a lot of infrastructure for this community, such as upgrade tools, battery service, and the broadband construction. This infrastructure brings a potential tourism opportunity for this area, and they also provide improvements to the residents' living uh, environment.
Hi everyone, I'm Dan Tonghu and I'll be talking about how the St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation fits the features of a social enterprise using the EMES definition. As we all know, there are three important dimensions in the EMES definition. First, we will look into the economic dimension. The very first feature of this dimension is the continuous production of goods and services. In the case of this incorporation, it relies on the shrimp fishery as its major revenue source and was established to manage the special allocation of fishing quota. St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation operates in the interests of communities within the region, and it insists that the revenue generated from local fishery should also be reinvested for local use. This incorporation also chooses to develop partnership with private fish processing business in order to secure the local production and sales. The other feature of St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation is its economic risk. This incorporation's financial viability depends largely on the efforts of the community members and workers to secure adequate resources. However, since the shrimp quota is considered the core funding of this incorporation, they also face multiple risks, such as ecological economic risk, as well as the risk of policy shifts. For example, according to the profile of access to northern shrimp 1996 to 2018 from Fisheries and Oceans Canada, in 2016, the lasting first out policy greatly reduced the shrimp quota for St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation to less than 400 tons, which also forced this incorporation to diversify its business lines in order to cope with the economic challenges. The last feature of this incorporation is the paid work. St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation combines monetary and non-monetary resources, and the workers include both volunteers and employees. The board of this incorporation is made up of all volunteers, but there are also employed staff who are working with salaries in different committees. The next dimension is the social dimension. In this section, St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation shows an explicit desire to serve the community and to promote a sense of social responsibility. This incorporation chose to integrate the local resources while other fishers were selling their catch to private business. St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation initiated many projects to benefit the community, such as improving infrastructure, investing in education and employment programs. It is very obvious that the ultimate goal of St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation is to benefit the communities. Moreover, this incorporation was established as a non-profit organization in 1977, and the major establishers of the incorporation were local fishers, plant employees, community representatives, and economic development staff. It was launched by a group of local citizens. As for the limited profit distribution, the co-funding of St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation in the shrimp quota as a community-led program. When St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation built their business, they also leveraged the revenue to build the community development work. This incorporation always saved an annual budget for the community development, allowing to avoid profit maximizing behavior. It also sponsors and makes donations to different groups and projects in the region to support community development. The last dimension in the EMES model is a participatory governance. As mentioned in the previous sections, St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation was established by local fishers and employees and also local community representatives based on the interests of communities. There is little involvement of the government or private organizations. So it is safe to say that the degree of autonomy for St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation is pretty high. As for the democratic sector, it often refers to the decision-making powers that are not based on capital ownership. It will be very interesting if we look into this particular feature from a very different angle. The capital in this case does not refer to capital in dollar signs. It refers to capital in metric tons of the stream quota. Therefore, the capital ownership in St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation is not exclusive but rather inclusive. All members are important contributors to meeting the shrimp quota as well as generating the revenues. To this extent, everyone takes capital ownership, allowing every community member to have a greater say when it comes to making a community-related decision. The last feature we'll be talking about in the EMES definition is participatory. As a social enterprise, St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation involves various parties, like the 16 community representatives, fishers, and the staff. And also the board is made up of all members and representatives from different parties. The participative management constitutes an essential characteristic of St. Anthony Basin Resources Incorporation. And that will be all for the EMES definition section. Thank you.
Hi everyone, now I would like to analyze the operation of SABRI from the perspective of Hudson approaches. Firstly, unlike many other social enterprises, SABRI did not rely on unstable subsidies from the government or non-profit organizations at the beginning of its establishment, but on the allocation of 3,000 tons allowable catch of shrimp, which can be seen as an intangible value embedded in the local community. But by tapping this natural resource, SABRI obtained the first part of goal for future development, which shows that the operation logic of SABRI is different from social enterprises of the welfare approach. Secondly, different from the ordinary capitalist economy, SABRI prioritizes social purpose over profit in its economic activities. In many places, seafood caught by fishermen will be sold directly to private processing enterprises. However, due to their small scale and limited bargaining power, fishermen can only get a small fraction of profit in the whole industrial chain, and most profits are dispersed to other regions as the ownership of downstream industries are scattered around the world. The appearance of SABRI changed this situation. The board of SABRI is made up of local residents. They are rendered greater bargaining power to participate in local economy, which enable local community to better control local economic activity, retain more profit, and getting skill training opportunity for future development. Like other capitalist economies, SABRI also focus on managing risk and generating wealth in the market to maintain its regular operations. However, SABRI also take into account community purpose. First of all, SABRI's early development relied on government shrimp quotas, which meant that they would be affected by ecological changes and government policy. For example, the total allowable catch of shrimp in 2016 decreased by 42.3%. The abolition of the last in, first out policy resulted in only less than 400 tons remaining in shrimp quotas in 2018 to 2019. In response of that, SABRI's executive director Sam Elliott suggests that Diversified operation is a way to transform shrimp quotas into the sustainable use of resource. In practice, by building local tourism facility and launching a self-service pilot, SABRI provide convenience conditions to attract more tourists and funds to develop local economy. Cooperation with Memory University to research the potential use of blue mussel and sea cucumber would not only bring more profit to the local economy, but help local residents to fight obesity and diabetes. Through housing development and scholarship projects, SABRI try to improve local living and educational conditions, which would increase social stability. Meanwhile, SABRI seek cooperation in the capitalist market to improve its competitiveness in the industry. For example, SABRI cooperates with Clearwater to establish an advanced seafood process plant, signed a 20-year business agreement with International Container Company in 2015 to seek long-term business development opportunity, and cooperate with Port Authority of San Antonio to upgrade their port infrastructure to improve business processing efficiency. This effort reflects SABRI's motivation to improve its competitiveness in the capitalist market. In conclusion, SABRI is an alternative form of capitalist economy which accepts the mainstream capitalist system but in a community-centered logic. From the perspective of MS definition, this principle, and Hudson's approach, we can see a picture of this social enterprise effort to turn local resources into tangible businesses to generate circulation of wealth and benefit community economic development. Thank you for listening.